Welcome to This Explainer. We're jumping right into a place that blends untamed nature with cutting-edge urban living. If you're into towering wilderness meeting a highly developed modern society, well, you're in exactly the right spot. Let's get going.
Before we really get into the weeds, let's kick things off with a little geographical trivia. Take a guess. Which country on Earth holds the record for having the absolute most lakes? Think about it for a sec.
All right, if you guessed Canada, you hit the nail on the head. And you know, it isn't just rich in water. It is officially the second largest country in the world by total land area. We're talking a scale that is absolutely vast, spanning nearly 10 million square kilometers and touching 3 different oceans. That sheer mind-boggling scale, that's exactly what makes its geography, its culture, and its people so deeply fascinating to explore. To break this all down, we'll be looking at 4 key areas today. First, the Great White North. Then the urban centers, followed by the Canadian lifestyle, and finally, the economy and essential systems.
So let's dive right into part 1, the Great White North.
Canada is home to a staggering amount of record-breaking natural wonders. Picture the jagged peaks of the Rocky Mountains carving through the sky, or the absolute roar of Niagara Falls. And it doesn't stop there. You've got globally renowned protected areas like Banff and Jasper National Parks, literally millions of acres of untouched alpine beauty. When you pair those massive landmarks with thousands of pristine lakes and dense forests, you get a country that's largely defined by its raw, majestic nature. It really is an environment that demands both respect and awe. Now, there's a pretty common misconception out there that Canada is just this permanent icebox. And sure, while the northern Arctic regions definitely live up to that freezing reputation with some punishing winters, the country as a whole is actually defined by striking climate contrasts. Down in the southern regions, which, by the way, is where the vast majority of the population actually lives and works, you get these beautifully warm, vivid summers. You really get to experience genuine seasonal extremes here. We're talking ice skating in January and then hot, sunny beach days in July. And hey, if you do venture out into all those forests and lakes, you'll be sharing the space with some pretty legendary locals. The Canadian wilderness is famous for its iconic wildlife. We're talking impressive grizzly and black bears, the industrious little beaver, which actually shaped a lot of the country's early trade history, believe it or not, and of course, the massive moose. Seriously, if you ever see a moose in person, their size is staggering. They look like they walked straight out of the prehistoric era. The wildlife is absolutely as much a part of the nation's identity as the landscape itself. Moving right along, let's get into part 2, the urban centers. The contrast between major Canadian cities is just incredible. On one hand, you have Toronto, this bustling, fast-paced financial engine bursting with skyscrapers and a highly diverse population. It really is the commercial heartbeat of the country. But then, contrast that with Montreal, which offers a completely different, almost European vibe. Montreal is heavily defined by its historic French culture, its cobblestone streets, and a phenomenal art scene. It's so fascinating how a single country can host 2 massive cities with such drastically different identities, yet they both remain quintessentially Canadian. And that urban diversity doesn't stop there. If you head further west, you find Vancouver, a city that gives you stunning oceanside views right alongside towering mountains. Honestly, you could theoretically sail and snowboard in the exact same afternoon. Then there's Ottawa, the political heart and capital of the nation. Out in the sprawling prairies, you've got Calgary, which serves as this dynamic, energy-driven gateway to the Rockies. And if you're seeking deep historical roots, Quebec City offers an unmatched, centuries-old fortress feel right in North America. Basically, whether you want oceans, mountains, high-powered business, or deep history, there's a distinct cosmopolitan flavor for everyone. All right, let's transition into part 3, the Canadian lifestyle. When we talk about the Canadian lifestyle, we're really talking about a deep-seated cultural emphasis on multiculturalism and a genuine commitment to work-life balance. People here heavily value their famous politeness, and they embrace diversity as a core national strength. Crucially, though, they also make sure to prioritize time for outdoor activities. They don't just live near all that beautiful nature, they actively use it to maintain mental and physical balance. Unplugging on the weekend to go hike, ski, or paddle, it's practically a national pastime. Because of all this, Canada is globally renowned for its safety, diversity, and an incredibly high quality of life. When you combine those 3 elements, feeling physically secure in your neighborhood, feeling welcomed no matter your cultural background, and enjoying a high standard of daily living, it makes total sense why this country consistently ranks as a top destination for international students and expats from all around the globe. People move here because the societal foundation is just exceptionally stable and inclusive.
That societal commitment to diversity, well, it's actually legally cemented right into everyday communication. The country proudly operates with two official languages, English and French. And this bilingual foundation isn't just some historical footnote. It actively shapes everything, from government institutions and national broadcasting, all the way down to the side-by-side translation labels on the cereal you buy at the local grocery store. Now, you absolutely cannot discuss Canada without craving their unique culinary lineup. Their comfort food is highly specific and, honestly, legendary. You've got the decadent, squeaky cheese and hot gravy glory of poutine, an absolute national staple. There's their world-famous, perfectly sweet maple syrup, alongside beautifully fresh wild-caught salmon. And for dessert, you really can't miss out on classic, gooey butter tarts or the famously sweet, no-bake, layered goodness of Nanaimo bars. It is a comforting, uniquely Canadian menu that you just have to try. Which brings us to our final section, Part 4, Economy and Essential Systems. Canada's strong economy is highly diversified. It isn't just relying on one single export to survive. Instead, it rests heavily on intensely modern pillars like technology and finance, especially in major tech hubs like Toronto and Vancouver. But it balances that out with robust traditional sectors like energy, mining, and agriculture. And of course, with all those gorgeous national parks and historic cities we explored earlier, tourism naturally plays a massive role in their economic strength, bringing in literally millions of global visitors every single year. Now, fueling all of those booming economic sectors requires some serious, consistent brainpower. And Canada delivers on that front with a phenomenal educational infrastructure. The workforce is supported by a strong, widespread public education system that funnels directly into a network of truly world-class universities. These institutions are out there churning out top-tier researchers and developers, which directly feeds that cutting-edge technology and finance boom we just talked about. It creates this highly effective, self-sustaining cycle of innovation and economic growth. Anchoring that famous quality of life is the profound peace of mind provided by their healthcare system. Canada offers publicly funded healthcare for eligible residents. This universal system is a fundamental cornerstone of the Canadian social contract. By ensuring that baseline medical needs are met without a crippling financial burden, the system removes a massive source of stress. It really allows citizens to focus on that work-life balance and just enjoy everything else the country has to offer. I really hope this explainer has given you a vivid picture of this incredible country. From the breathtaking scale of its natural wonders and unique wildlife, to its dynamic, diverse urban centers, all the way to strong foundational systems like healthcare and education, Canada truly stands out on the world stage. So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. With world-class cities, untamed wilderness, and universal healthcare, when are you packing your bags for the true north? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.